Well, hey everybody, this is Noah Bradley with Handmade House TV. Welcome to this episode 8, the first of the new year. Stay tuned. Well, okay, thank you for joining me today on Handmade House TV. I've got a special guest, our first guest ever on our Handmade House TV series. I think you might enjoy this. He's a quiet fella, but I think we're going to learn some things from him. And who I'd like to introduce is my younger self, Noah Bradley, at the age of 25. Now I'm 60 nowadays, or at least I will be later on this year. And so we have a 35-year difference between the two of us. He's clearly got more hair on his head than I do, and no gray fuzz on his face either. You can see that he's climbing the corner of a log cabin. Obviously, he's infatuated with log cabins to be doing such a thing as this. At the age of 25, he had already, 5 years prior to that, built his first home, dug the footers himself, drew up the plans, went to the bank, managed to get them to loan him the money even though he had no credit and little savings. The home turned out to be a smashing success, extremely attractive, still stands to this day, a beautiful home. And so at the age of 25, he was ready to venture on to his next project, and he came up with this idea of homesteading, of buying some raw land of nothing but woods in eastern Tennessee, Appalachia, in the mountain area, and that's what he went on to do. And he was confident 100% that if I built that home, the previous one, I can certainly build another one and it'll be a smashing success. This time I want to build it for nothing. Nothing but the cost of the nails and the glue, basically. And so he moved on to the land with his wife, and no children at that stage. And they lived in a tent while they built a house out of stone gathered on the property. They cleared the garden with a team of horses. And over the course of the next year or two, built himself a home that he took pride in for about a year. And the problem was that we all take pride in anything we build once we're done with it. Very rarely are we disappointed. Well, not disappointed at first because we did it. It can't be wrong. Anybody that would say it was bad would be hurtful. But nonetheless, as time went by, as the months went by, as I eventually sold that project, I began to become aware that what I had built was not a thing of beauty. When it came time for me to sell it, I sold it at a loss. And it was at this point where I realized the need to build an attractive home, an unbelievably attractive home, a home as attractive as what one can build. And it's not something that's presented a lot on a lot of the videos. A lot of the videos I find are of people creating corner notches, of hewing logs, of shaping stone, of doing mortise and tenon work, of building a home. But in the end, the home is actually fair. Some of them are bad. Some of them are good, but none of them are the best of what it was. And so it was from that hardship that I experienced as a young man, of having spent several years of my life creating something and then not being pleased with the end result of it, that I went on a quest to discover the secrets to true design. And so from right now, what I'm encouraging you guys to do, we're entering 2017. This is the year that I'm discovering and designing my next home. And that's what I'm hoping that you'll come along and do as well. If a 20-year-old can build a home, if a 25-year-old can build a home with little or no experience, so can you. I have seen 70-year-olds, a couple well into their 70s build it. I have worked beside people in wheelchairs building their own home. Some of the most talented people have been women that I have worked with. That is not an excuse. and lack of experience is not a good one, and neither is the shortage of financial availability of ability to build and everything. And that is that if you make those steps, somehow or another the ducks fall in place. Somehow or another you will get to achieving that dream home of yours. But if you do nothing, nothing happens. Inactivity is not the solution. We all have excuses why we can't build a home. There's always a shortage of something that's holding us back from actually doing it. And it's people want to use that willpower force of ours, which is actually a really small muscle, that it's easy to want to to lose 5 pounds, but it's another thing to actually make it happen. And that's because we exercise our willpower and not our habit. So we want to create some habits in our life that will move us forward toward that dream home. Some way or another, the ducks will line up. A mother duck does not wait for the ducks to line up in order to move forward on moving her duckling somewhere else. She starts walking. She gains the momentum. She takes the small steps ahead, and the ducklings line up, and things just tend to happen when we want to build a house. That's something this young man knew. No one, maybe his father taught him by example, but no one taught him. He realized that he could build a house, and that it was just a matter of starting on the process of knowing that you can, of moving forward, and somehow or another everything falls into place. The only thing that he hadn't figured out, which is one of the things I'm really trying to teach you, is design, and trying to come up with a real attractive feature. That he was under the impression that if I build with natural materials, I'm going to have a wonderful house. A lot of people think that, oh, I want a log cabin, I want it to be attractive, therefore all I need to do is buy a log cabin kit and it'll be attractive when I'm done. And then they go through the process, and then in the end they like it for a season, and then eventually they figure out it didn't live up to my expectations. And I want to spare you that heartache in doing that. So get yourself a notebook, and start taking recording, or start saving all the images of things that you find attractive, and let's move together in 2017 toward our future home. It's going to be a good year. I look forward. I've got a lot of great things planned for the rest of the season here. Some hands-on demonstration for those that are tired of hearing me talk, but it's important, I think, for me to go back to show you some of the projects I have built in the past, and to point out some of the details of it, so that you have it in your head when it comes time to design, and so that when you have it in your time when it comes time that I'm building, and I might forget to mention something to you. And also, in the process of me going back to older structures, I'm also revisiting things and seeing what it is that I want in my particular home. I'd like to recommend to you one website that you go check out. It's I believe the name of it is Wait But Why, and it's put together by a brilliant young man, and 95% of the articles I think are right on key. Of course, there's 5% of them that I don't. You never find absolute agreement on everything. But one of the sites one of the articles he wrote, and you can get a printout there, is basically it's a sheet of paper that shows you all of the weeks contained within an average human lifespan. And it's humbling to see a sheet of paper with the few weeks that we have here in this life, and we all know how fast they tick away. And it's a wonderful chart to print up. It's a nice article to read about how short the time we have here. And the years will tick away from you if you don't ever get around to building that dream home. And whereas if you start now at the slow pace I'm going, and we had one commentator, one guy leave a comment here on YouTube, and his comment was, I waffle a little lot, and I apologize about waffling. It is not something I do, it's just who I am. I'm doing my best on these videos, and I hope that you're enjoying them, and they will improve if you hang there with me with time. I've got a lot of fantastic things ahead this year, and I think you're really gonna enjoy it. A lot of hands-on. People are tired of saying stop talking and start showing us, but nonetheless there's a lot of information I want to get out to you. I got 40 years of experience in building a home. This young man that I would love to get a message to, And the primary message I'd like to get to him is to really focus on that design. Get that design right so that the project you're building, you have a firm vision in your head of what you want that home to look like. It doesn't cost you any money to figure out what that home is going to look like, to put that design on paper and make that home really beautiful. And if you build a beautiful home, you will never regret doing it. So that's the one key takeaway I have here. The whole creation behind the Handmade House Academy was the initial concept of it was if I could spend a day talking to that young man, if I could set him down for 8 hours and share with him the secrets to building a house, that's the definition of the Handmade House Academy. It's 8 hours of me sharing the best of what I learned from the point he's at to the point I'm at now. And so I'd ask you to consider joining us within the Academy. Also, please visit us on handmadehouses.com and make sure and check us out on Facebook. I make postings there every day at Noah's Handmade Houses. So thank you for joining me today, guys. 2017 is here. It's going to be a great year. We're going to accomplish a whole lot. Look forward to spending it with you, and you take care.